Hi everyone, welcome to this video where we will learn about the basics of AWS Elastic Beanstalk. My name is Aishwarya Sood. I am working as a software engineer and AWS trainer. I am 3x AWS certified, AWS certified developer associate, solutions architect associate, and also AWS certified cloud practitioner. I am also an AWS Academy accredited educator. You can connect with me on LinkedIn at my profile name is Aishwarya Sood 29, and you can also scan the QR code to view my profile. So in today's video, we will first learn about what is exactly platform as a service. Then we will get a little introduction to the Elastic Beanstalk, and then we will dive a little deeper into it. The concepts that come into the working of Elastic Beanstalk, what is the basic workflow, how it works, and also what are the environment types, what is exactly environment, what are the types and the tiers of environments that are there. And we will also learn how we can deploy a simple application using Elastic Beanstalk within just minutes. So before we begin with anything else, let me tell you what exactly is platform as a service. It's one of the cloud service models where you just focus on the application code optimization and nothing else, because all other resources that are the underlying infrastructure, which includes servers, which include operating system, host, language interpreter, etc., they are managed by the service provider. There are some challenges if you don't have something like a platform as a service, such as managing infrastructure around deploying an application can be difficult, and it can take a lot of time to manage and configure the servers, and there will be a lack of consistency across multiple projects or applications. So in order to overcome these challenges, platform as a service is there. And for this to be implemented on AWS, there's an amazing service that is available, which is highlighted here that you can see. Which service is this? Can you guess? So we are going to learn about this service in today's session. Before we proceed with the introduction to today's service, let me give you an example of platform as a service. Like in the first image that you can see, let's say the platform as a service is pizza as a service. So what will be our responsibility in that case? Only setting up the dining table and setting up the soda. That's it. Everything else will be taken care by the vendor. That means pizza will be delivered to us. Everything else will be their responsibility, the vendor's responsibility. What being a customer is our responsibility, just to optimize the location where we are going to eat that. Okay, so in coming to technical terms, an example of platform as a service, what will be the customer's responsibility? Just the application code and the data. Everything else, runtime, middleware, operating system, these things will be delivered to you as a service, and you do not have to set up the infrastructure. So finally, here is the service that I was talking about. It's Elastic Beanstalk. It's an easy to use service for deploying and scaling web applications and services developed with various technologies such as Java, .NET, PHP, Node.js, Python, Ruby, Go, and on familiar servers such as Apache, Nginx, Passenger, etc. With Elastic Beanstalk, you can quickly deploy and manage applications in the AWS cloud without having to worry about the infrastructure that is underlying, because it provisions and operates the infrastructure that manages the application stack for you, and also it is completely transparent. That means you see everything that it is creating for you, from an EC2 instance, from a load balancer, from any auto scaling configuration. Everything will be visible to you when you go to the service page. Also, it's impossible to outgrow because it automatically scales your applications up and down. So you do not even have to worry about that. Just configure once and you are done. Also, Elastic Beanstalk reduces the management complexity without restricting the choice to control. Okay, because you simply upload your application, and Elastic Beanstalk will automatically handle the detail of the capacity provisioning, load balancing, scaling, and application health monitoring. So basically, the goal of Elastic Beanstalk is to help developers deploy and maintain scalable web applications and services in the cloud without having to worry about the underlying infrastructure. Okay, and Elastic Beanstalk configures each EC2 instance in your environment with the components that are necessary to run the applications for the selected platform, whether you are selecting Python or any other platform. And you do not have to worry about logging in into EC2 instances to install and configure your application stack, because that will be taken care by the service itself. Okay, so we have got to know what's Elastic Beanstalk and what about its pricing now. It is offering great convenience. What do you think will be the pricing of it? It has no charge at all. Yes, using Elastic Beanstalk has no charges associated with it. But there's a catch. Although you won't get charged for using Elastic Beanstalk, but you will be charged for the resources that it creates, like an EC2 instance, any load balancers, or any other resource that it is creating. You will get charged normally for those resources. So before we begin further with the working of Elastic Beanstalk, we have to understand a few concepts that we will encounter while setting up Elastic Beanstalk. So let's have a look at those concepts. First will be the application. It's a logical collection of Elastic Beanstalk components, including environments, versions, and environment configurations. And application is conceptually similar to a folder, you can say, okay, which will be including a lot of things that I have just told you. Next is the application version. So in Elastic Beanstalk, it refers to the application version refers to a specific labeled iteration of deployable code for a web application. Okay, like you are deploying version 1, you are deploying version 2, or the same way any other version. It points to an S3 bucket object that contains the deployable code, and applications can have many versions and each application version will be unique. Next is environment. So the environment is a collection of AWS resources running an application version. Each environment runs only one application version at a time, but however, you can run the same application version or different application versions in many environments simultaneously. Next is the environment tier. So when you launch an Elastic Beanstalk environment, you first choose an environment tier. The environment tier designates the type of application that the environment runs and determines what resources Elastic Beanstalk will provision to support it. For example, an application that serves HTTP requests runs in the web server environment tier, and a backend application, backend environment that pulls a task from an SQS queue runs in a worker environment tier. So we will learn more about the differences between the web server environment and the worker environment tier in the upcoming slides. Let's move to the next concept for now. So the next concept comes as an environment configuration. It identifies a collection of parameters and the settings that define how an environment and its associated resources behave. Next is the saved configuration. It's a template that you can use as a starting point for creating unique environment configurations, and you can create and modify saved configurations as well and apply them to the environments. Next comes a platform. A platform is a combination of an operating system, programming language, runtime, web server, application server, and Elastic Beanstalk components. So you design and target your web application to a platform, and Elastic Beanstalk provides a variety of platforms on which you can build your applications. So that was about the concepts that are the most common when we will be setting up the Elastic Beanstalk. Rest of them, like, we will understand them more once we set up them in the AWS console. So apart from this, let's have a look at the workflow that will be there. So for the Elastic Beanstalk, what we will be doing, we can interact with this service, that is Elastic Beanstalk, by using the Elastic Beanstalk console. That is the first option, the AWS CLI or EB, small EB, okay, which is a high level CLI which is designed specifically for Elastic Beanstalk. That is another option. To use Elastic Beanstalk, you create an application, then upload an application version in the form of an application source bundle, for example a java.var file, and to Elastic Beanstalk, and then provide some information about the application. Then Elastic Beanstalk automatically launches an environment and creates and configures the AWS resources that are needed to run your code. Okay, this will be launched automatically, but we will be able to create one by ourselves as well. After your environment is launched, you can then manage your environment and deploy new application versions. Okay, one we uploaded here, but after we are running our application, we will be able to upload different other application versions as well. And this completely defines the workflow of the Elastic Beanstalk in short. And after you create and deploy your application, you can manage your environment, and information about the application including metrics, events, environment status, everything will be available through the Elastic Beanstalk console, APIs or CLIs, including the AWS CLI as well. Okay, so let's move to the next slide and let's discuss what exactly is the environment in the Elastic Beanstalk. So when you create an environment, Elastic Beanstalk provision the resources, as I have told you earlier also, that are required to run the application, such as if there's Elastic Load Balancer that is required, and not an Elastic, but the auto scaling group if that's required, and one or more EC2 instances that will be required for your application. Elastic Beanstalk will provide you with the unique domain name with the application environment. Okay, so this will be in the form of http:// and your app name will be here, whatever you give to your app, .elasticbeanstalk.com. But you can resolve your own domain name to this domain name with the Route 53, so that if you want something like www.mywebsite.com or something related to your business or your product, you can get that domain as well, and you can resolve that domain to this domain using the Route 53. So this is how basically the environment will look like. But for creating an environment, we must understand the differences between the environment types and tiers that are available. So let's discuss them first. So first comes the environment types. So in Elastic Beanstalk, you can create a load balanced scalable environment or a single instance environment. The type of the environment that you require depends on the application that you deploy. For example, you can deploy and test an application in a single instance environment to save costs, and then upgrade that environment to a load balanced scalable environment when the application is ready for production. So let's dive a little deeper into these both of these types. First is a single server environment. A single instance environment or a single server environment contains just one Amazon EC2 instance with an Elastic IP address. This environment doesn't have a load balancer, which can help you reduce costs compared to a load balanced and scale environment. Although a single server environment does use the EC2 auto scaling service, settings for the minimum number of instances, maximum number of instances, and desired capacity all will be set to 1. That means it will not be scaling the instances, but yes, it will be there, but all the minimum and maximum and desired capacity will be set to 1. So consequently, new instances are not started to accommodate the increasing load on your application. And you can use a single instance environment if you expect your production application to have low traffic, or if you are doing the remote deployment or the development. Okay, and then load balanced and scalable environment. A load balanced and scalable environment uses the Elastic Load Balancer as well as EC2 auto scaling service to provision the EC2 instances that are required for your deployed application. EC2 auto scaling automatically starts the additional resources to accommodate the increasing load on your application, and if the load on your application decreases, Amazon EC2 auto scaling will stop any unnecessary instances, but always leaves your specified minimum number of instances running. Okay, and if your application requires scalability with the option of running in multiple availability zones, you can go ahead and use a load balanced scalable environment. But if you are not sure which environment type to select, then you can pick one, and if required, you can switch to the another environment type later. That is also possible. Like you are not sure what to select, you can select the single server in that case, and later on if you feel like now is the need of load balanced, you can change it to that type also. So these were about the types of environments that are available. Now there is something else also, that is environment tiers that are available. There are two tiers of environments to choose from, that are web server environments and worker environments. Now let's understand a little differences between both of them. So web server environments are the standard applications that listen for and then process the HTTP request typically over the port 80. But worker environments are the specialized applications that have a background process task that listens for messages on an Amazon SQS queue. After processing the message, the worker environment send a put request to those messages. Okay, that means it is putting the messages. This is a put request, the HTTP request. Put those messages to your application by using HTTP. Okay, and then worker environments, let me tell you a little more about it, like when to use and when not to use. So if your applications perform tasks that take a long time to complete, for example processing a video or generating a zip file, you may want to offload these tasks to a dedicated worker environment. When you create a worker environment, it decouples your applications into two tiers. Okay, and that is a web server environment and the worker environment. So as you can see in the architecture, AWS resources created for a worker environment tier include an auto scaling group, one or more EC2 instances, and an IAM role. For the worker environment tier, Elastic Beanstalk also creates and provisions an Amazon SQS queue if you don't already have one. And when you launch a worker environment, Elastic Beanstalk installs the necessary support files for your programming language of choice that you are choosing, and a daemon on each EC2 instance in the auto scaling group. The daemon reads the message from the Amazon SQS queue and it sends the data from each message that it reads to the web application running in the worker environment for processing. If you have multiple instances in your worker environment, each instance will have its own daemon, but they all read from the same Amazon SQS queue. So that was about environment tiers and the types that are there. So that is enough for the basics that you need to know now. Other types, other things, there are a lot more about the Elastic Beanstalk which is out of scope as of now. So what we will do, we will see the Elastic Beanstalk in action. That means we will just deploy a simple application using Elastic Beanstalk just to see how it works and what are the steps that are included in the process. Okay, so let's move to the AWS console now and let's get started. So going to the first step is to go to the Elastic Beanstalk, of course, and then it will take me to the environments page. You can directly go ahead and create an application, or you can click on create a new environment. Both are fine. So I'm clicking on create a new environment. Here is the option to select that if I want a web server environment or if I want a worker environment. So since this is just a simple application that I'll be deploying, that will be just a sample application. Okay, so I am going for the web server environment. Next, select. Okay, so application name, let me give it as my EB app. Okay, my Elastic Beanstalk app. And application tags you can add optionally. Also the environment information you can give. Environment name is this one. You can here write your domain name if you want something. Okay, otherwise if you leave it blank, they will generate a random domain and it will give it to you. So that domain also will include your application name. So here let me type the name, that if I want something, my EB app, and I can check the availability here. Yes, it is available. So my domain name will be in the form of my EB app .ap-south-1.elasticbeanstalk.com, and then you can add a description for it. For the platform, let's choose Python as of now. You can choose from any of these options and it will automatically go for the latest versions, the latest ones that are there, but you can change if you want. So here are the options where we have to upload the code, or if if that's just for the demo purpose, we can go ahead with the sample. So here if I click on upload the code, here the version label will be given. This is given for the version 1, and I can refer to the S3 URL, or I can upload a local file. Okay, just need to click on choose file. It will prompt me to choose a file from my local system, and I just need to click on upload and the file will be uploaded. So for the S3 URL, I just need to type the S3 object URL that is containing my application code. So for this example, for this demonstration, what I will do, I will just go ahead and create a sample application. Okay, I have chosen the Python and just the sample application. So I will click on create environment. So this option I will show you later, which was a configure more options, because I already clicked on create environment. So this create environment thing will take around 5 minutes to complete. Till then, let's wait, and once it's done, I'll be telling you the further things that you can do here. So the environment is ready. After waiting for like 4 to 5 minutes, this has given me the screen and it's all ready. So what are the resources that it has created for me? Let me check that. So going to the configuration, it has created EC2 instances for me. It has created CloudFormation stack, the domain for me. Also the load balancer is there and security group is there. Okay, so since I said the CloudFormation template is there, we can go ahead and check that CloudFormation template so that we can get to know what are the things that are there. So going to the CloudFormation, let me see. Yes, this is the one which Elastic Beanstalk has created just now for my application. So let me go there. Yes, it has been created. Let me click on resources. So auto scaling group was created, scaling policies were created. Then what else? Let me see, CloudWatch alarms were created, launch configurations for the auto scaling, then load balancer security group. Okay, and also the EC2 instance. Also I can see the template in designer as well if I want to see. So just clicking on view in designer and I'll be able to see my architecture diagram as well, whatever it has created for me. So here's the architecture diagram that you can see. These are the resources that have been created by my environment. I just clicked on create environment and all these resources were created automatically. Now going back to the Elastic Beanstalk console. So there are different sections that are present in the environment. First is the configuration. It shows the resources that are provisioned for this environment, such as EC2 instances that are hosting my application, and we can configure some of the provisioned resources at this page. For example, I click on edit instances page and I can choose few things here like the monitoring that I want and few other things. If I want to change the security group and all, so I just cancel it. And then what else? Capacity, I can click and edit. So if I want, this is a load balanced environment. If I want it to be a single instance, here is the thing, here is where I can change my environment type. And then the on-demand instances, or if you want to combine the purchase options, and here is the minimum capacity set to 1 and maximum to 4 because this is a load balanced auto scaled environment. Also the instance type, I can select AMI ID, any AC preference if I have, any scaling cooldown period preference if I have. Okay, like the cooldown period that is here in auto scaling, this is the setting for that. Also what else is here? The time based scalings. All these configurations you can edit from this page. And then going back, what else is here? Load balancer or deployment types, which is not in scope of this current session. If we have another session for deep dive into Elastic Beanstalk, we can look into that time. And for the security regarding the key pair, for the monitoring and all these things you can change here. Also the database settings you can change. Currently I am not having anyone, but if you want you can change it here. Then coming to the health section. Okay, logs also I can request if I want. then it will give me logs also. So for troubleshooting and all, if I need any logs, I can request for it. Then going to the health, I can see the health of the health status and the detailed information of the instances that are running my application. All the information is given here. So monitoring section, it will show the stats for my environment, all the CPU utilization and all other things, the network utilization, network in, network out, all these things. So we can use this page to create alarms for the metrics that we are monitoring, and then we can check the alarms here. And if we have created any update or we have scheduled any, we will be able to see that in the managed updates section. Then in the events section, what we can see, it shows the information or error messages from Elastic Beanstalk and from other services whose resources are involved in this environment. Okay, so here it will be given if there are error or any kind of messages, and here I can check the tags. In addition to the default tags, I can create more tags for my environment. So this is about the environment. Now let me see if my application is deployed or not. So I just need to click on go to environment and it will open the URL. Yes, the application has been deployed. You can see what is the URL of the application, myebapp.apsouth1.elasticbeanstalk.com, because I selected this as a custom domain. If I don't select, there will be some random string added to in addition to my application name. So this is the version 1 of my application. I can go back here and I can click on application versions. I can upload a new version after updating this page and all these things, and if I have a different version of my application, first I need to give it a name, like this is a v2 or the version 2, then description, and then choose the new file for the one like the file which is creating the updated version of your code, and then just assign a tag and click on upload. The new version will be uploaded. So for now I am not adding any version, but this is how you can add it. So then once your uploaded version is there, okay, it will be displayed in this list. Let's say there was some version, so it was like this. So if I click on this one, how do I deploy that as the current version? I just need to click here and click on actions and then deploy. Okay, so if I deploy, it will just prompt for confirmation and just click on deploy. Since this is the version that is already deployed, so I am not deploying it right now. But if it was some different version, this was the this will be the process how you will be deploying that version. Okay. So this is almost it. Let me check. Yeah, here we can check our applications. This is my EB app and the health status is okay. This is the URL and this is a platform that I selected. This is showing me the environment that has been created for it. Okay, I can also create a new environment. Okay, I can terminate this environment. I can create a new environment using the same process for my application, the same application, that is also possible. So this is basically it for this demo, and I hope you have understood the process of Elastic Beanstalk settings and all the basic concepts that comes into the Elastic Beanstalk, and we will meet in the next video. Till then, thank you.